Hey guys, Sebastian here again. Thanks for stopping by again. And this one I'm going to be talking about chapter 9. This is kind of like after I mentioned in the last video, kind of had like a breakthrough with all the information that I had. And I kind of had to start all over again because now that I knew what was wrong with me or what was up, I had to kind of like push all this information back that I had learned up to that point and kind of like restructure it again for the new, to be able to tackle this issue down. Thankfully, the doctors or they're not even doctors, they had naturopath healers. They're like nutritional therapists, literally that's what they are. And they give me like a whole like guideline to what to follow, but the guideline, unfortunately, only like half of it worked for me because the other stuff I couldn't tolerate. I was so sensitive to it, or actually more than half, like 80% of it, whatever they told me, I knew I couldn't do it. So I had to, again, start over. Again, I went through a relapse where I was like, oh my God, like I have to do this again. Like, I'm tired of this. It's been almost a year and a half. Like, what is going on here? And yeah, pretty much, restructuring the brain. They gave me herbal antibiotics. They gave me a protocol which made a lot of sense, which was, dude, you're very toxic. Your entire body is full of toxins. That's the reason why you're not healing. You can't heal your body if you're full of toxins. There's just no possible way. If something's rotten, you just got to take it out and throw it in the trash, and then, the other stuff will not get rotten. This is pretty much how it works. And they pretty much gave me these drugs, or not drugs, sorry, these herbal antibiotics. It was a mixture of like pau d'arco, olive leaf, what else? Not Chancapiedra. Crap. It was really strong, or I can't remember the top of my head. There's a lot of them where it's like a mixture of everything. One specified for yeast and one specified for bacterial. That's another thing I had candida overgrowth as well. So I had like yeast overgrowth, bacterial overgrowth, fungus overgrowth. My good bacteria was like in the lowest levels. So they told me how that was I started doing research on how to properly do this because I knew that my body was gonna start, there was something that they mentioned was that my liver is gonna start taking a big hit because as I take these herbal antibiotics, it's bacteria that starts dying off, and obviously bacteria that dies off goes either to your liver to get filtered, then you release it through the urine, the stool, your skin, etc. So I started learning, on liver support, thistle, glutathione, all these other super important, nutrients, supplements that you use. And I felt it right away. I remember I got the herbal antibiotic. I was super excited. I was like, oh my God, let's kill this, this thing. Let's just hammer it and get it over with. I took the first 2 pills. I completely felt like complete trash. I passed out. The same thing. But it was weird. Like I had the Herxheimer's reaction, which is detox reaction. That's what they call it scientifically. And again, and all my symptoms started like exploding from all the toxins that I started killing, I guess. So my body was very overwhelmed. I realized that I could not do it as fast as I wanted to. I had to do it very, very slow. And so I went down. I was supposed to be taking like 4 pills a day of this stuff. I could only take 1. And I just did 1. I started with doing 1 every 2 days because it was too much for my body to handle. I was so toxic that I would take 1 and then immediately I would break out, and I would have all these weird sensations in my body. But I know that this time, for some reason, I felt that this was going to work. I started hitting the saunas, infrared saunas. I started, pretty much trying to go to the bathroom every single day. Number 1, number 2, a lot of water. By this point, my digestion was still really bad. I had a lot of issues with digesting my food in my stomach. So I was given digestive enzymes and hydrochloric acid to be able to compensate for, like the acid that it was lost when I took all those chemicals. That's something that I'm still working on to this day. My hydrochloric acid levels are very, very low. I've tried a bunch of things and I'm still trying to crack that down because it's just super hard. to not being able to take pills every time I eat, something that's kind of like my goal right now, but who knows, maybe, I don't know about that. I'm still trying to figure it out. As you see, it's a journey that it just keeps, you just keep learning and trying to figure it out as you go. But anyway, my digestive was pretty bad. They gave me that. It helped a ton, like so much with the enzymes and the hydrochloric acid. If you don't know what hydrochloric acid is, it's what your body is supposed to produce on its own. But due to like a lot of processed chemicals and foods that you eat over time, eventually your body stops producing it. And especially when your body doesn't have the right bacteria, a lot of things play into effect into this. And yeah, it didn't really, it helped me a ton, but so far I still have to take them. But yeah, this was kind of like my big breakthrough, because after this, I started really feeling the changes in my body. Again, with a sauna, I realized that the vegan diet was, like I said before, was not good for me. I decided to just go all in on carnivore, and the carnivore really helped me, like really helped me. Being just fully carnivore, I don't eat as much organs anymore as I used to, but I used to eat a lot of like liver, kidneys, heart. I think at one point I ate. I know doesn't taste very good, but that really, really, like, it gave me the nutrients that I needed. My sleep got regulated. Doing salt baths, a lot of salt baths. It really helped me as well. Magnesium. I really had to study though, like the nitty gritty of the balance that you need to have in your minerals, because sometimes you can lose track of it. B vitamins, something that to this day is still a little hard for me to take. I take it once in a blue moon. I don't take B vitamins every single day. I just don't feel good in them, so I just know I don't take them every day. It took me a while to do vitamin C. Vitamin C was really, really good. Usually all the brands that I have, they're really high quality. They're pure, but they're expensive. But I understand that this is my health, and there is nothing more important than your health and your well-being. Because again, after what I went through and seeing how my mind and how my body completely changed, I was a completely different person. I hated everything. I even freaked out a bunch of times and called, people that I love names, because my mind was just crazy. I had like no awareness of what I was thinking, because of all of these bacteria and all these chemicals, how they were affecting my body. It was messing with my mind. The moment I got rid of this bacterial infection overall, completely, like, I realized how clear my brain was. I remember waking up one day and I'm like, holy crap, I'm thinking again, like clearly, what is going on? It's like, holy crap. And now I know that this imbalance, if there's an imbalance here, there's going to be an imbalance here and everywhere else. So, I don't want to get too crazy into it, but if you really think about like how the Looney Tunes out there that exist, a lot of the people, and you check their diets and you look at the SAD, the standard American diet, it makes sense that these people are losing their minds. And I say it because I lost my mind. I thought about a lot of shit that no person should ever think of, but my mind was just not in the right place, because of a lot of these chemicals that are happening here. And obviously a lot of other things that are happening. It's just not the stomach. There's a lot of things in my environment that was making me feel this way and act this way. So yeah, this is pretty much the biggest breakthrough that I had. I followed that protocol for a few months until eventually I ended the bottles that they told me to end. I might do it again, because I do feel like once in a blue moon, your body has to kind of like reset. You might agree with me, you might not. This is just what I'm thinking now. And this is pretty much it for this chapter. It's pretty much the big thing. Just I have relapses sometimes. I still do, where my body kind of like goes back to this moment of where I was in like my deathbed, and it feels weird. It's not as extreme, but my body kind of like tries to go back there. It's kind of weird. But then I know that that's not, that's the past. So my body kind of like snaps out of it, and I'm like, no, dude, like, we're going forward. That's in the past now. Yeah, it's weird. It's weird because you have like this relationship with your body. It's like you're treating it like a friend, and that's something that we've never been taught. Like, you got to take care of the friend here. You gotta nurture it. You gotta take baths. You gotta understand that your body is not just going for everything. And this is what people do nowadays. People just drink themselves to death. They do all these drugs, they do all these things thinking that they're invisible. And the next thing you know, everybody's anxiety now. Everybody has depression now. Everybody has ADHD. I'm like, the hell? Like, this doesn't make any sense. I mean, the reason why they have all these, whatever you call them now, it's because no one's really looked in their life and how they've treated their body up to that point. But again, you can't really, I mean, I didn't know. So, I mean, nobody really knows this until they really go through something crappy like I did. Well, anyway, I'm going to leave it there. Again, guys, thank you for staying tuned. The last chapter is just pretty much how I am, like, I'm living my life now. I feel like I am working out again, doing kind of like a little bit extreme workouts, which I'm very happy with, but I know I can't do it too much. I still have some issues with my skin, as you can see. Just something that I'm still trying to figure out. And again, I'm just enjoying the process at this point because I know eventually I'll be fully healed, but I just gotta accept that the body knows what it's doing. I trust it, I nurture it, I take care of it, and everything else will follow. And if it doesn't, then I'm dead, and that's the end of it. What else are we gonna do? Well, anyway, guys, I'll see you in the next one, and thanks for staying tuned. I appreciate you.